Welcome back to another episode today. Well, in a new year. So we just ended our our start of the year review for the paperless movement. And again, we approached it from the ICOR perspective and did it the same way as you guys are doing it out there too. And that's what we want to discuss today. Again, why it's so important to have these quarterly reviews. And I'd say it is a breeze to do these yearly starts based on the quarterly review approach that we have, because there's not so much to catch up as we are always on top of everything, then thanks to the quarterly approach. Here we talk about goal setting as well. And I was suffering corporate a lot from these yearly goals. And then in the end of the year, everybody tried to achieve the goals that they forgot over the whole year. And then everybody annoys you that, hey, can you help me? And you just keep helping other people achieving their goals and you miss your own in the end. And this quarterly approach still applies also there. If this is not the official way to do it in the company, you still can do it for yourself. Break a yearly goal down into a quarterly goal and decide in which quarter you want to achieve it. And then do as much as possible in this one quarter. You will be amazed the focus in 90 days, how much you achieve. Well, just thinking about the launch of the My ICOR application, it was in less than a quarter. But if you think about, hey, let's make an app, and then you say, okay, let's set a yearly goal. It will take the whole year to create it. Here we said it needs to be finished before 2026, and here we are. It was possible. So you become much more pragmatic. Paco, what was your experience today with the quarterly review we had?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I love starting a new year. For me, it's always amazing, okay? It doesn't matter how crazy the previous year has ended. For me, it's like starting from scratch. I love moving from execution mode to a strategic mode. I think that that's crucial for not only for businesses, but for people and their lives. Okay, I think that from time to time to zoom out and see the whole picture is what gives you the perspective of all the things that you have achieved. Okay, because normally in execution mode you pay attention to the failures, okay, and all the problems that you have, but the moment that you have that overall picture, I think that perspective changes everything. And I think that that's crucial. Okay, I think that is crucial to gain momentum, to keep engaged with the thing that you are doing, to give a meaning. Okay, I think that the moment that you start bringing clarity, that's why I posted today an entry in our community related to clarity. I think that that's what a review should be. Okay, it shouldn't be too long. In our case, it has been a couple of hours, 3. As the most significant amount of time, I would say, okay, because if you go further, then you start moving from a strategy to execution. I think that a strategy doesn't need long discussions. I think that a strategy needs to really force the people to pay attention to the things that really matters to their business. Okay, I think that that's the only moment, because when you change to execution mode, that doesn't matter that from time to time with the weekly meetings and all that, you grab a little bit of a strategy so that you see the alignment with the big goals. But I think that those quarterly reviews are the crucial ones, okay, are the ones that you are really fully strategic, okay, that you can forget about the nitty-gritty of the things, okay, and define those big goals that point towards the destination that you are ambitioning, okay. And that's what we did today. I'm really happy because we have gained a lot of clarity talking about our roadmap and the things that should be the things that we pay the attention the most. I think that that's crucial, and it's only during these sessions with that mindset and approach that these things emerge. During the quarter, it's pretty difficult, okay, because also right now we are in the middle, okay, of starting something talking about the atmosphere, okay, the social atmosphere, okay. Christmas went away, people little by little are coming back to their works, to their routines, to all the things that generate that huge amount of noise, okay? And it's thanks to the lack of noise that we can really be focused on the things that matter and define the main lines that we will go week by week achieving for sure.
Yeah, correct. That's it for today. No, obviously there goes a lot more. And those who went through ICOR know that we teach the output elements, and how everything is interconnected. That's crucial. You cannot just sit down. Well, you can obviously, but you only get out of these quarterly goal sessions and reviews with great ambitions, and then you achieve nothing, because the moment you start taking action and you are in the middle of the storm again, you forget about these during the quarter. And that's why it's so crucial that not only you set goals, but these goals lead to projects and therefore tasks. And these are the individual actionable items that you then keep track of every week together with the team, for yourself, due to the weekly, well, you can call it a weekly review if you have the agenda meeting, and then seeing how you progressed through the week. And that's where we have then the this week, next week approach, where we just look 1 week ahead. How much can we achieve in this 1 week based on the goals that we set for this quarter, of the things that we want to achieve this quarter? And that makes it so tangible and gives you the right overview, and that gives you also the right prioritization for the tasks, and forget about the rest. So because you already think that, well, you already know that you maxed out your capacities, it's always important to also consider all unexpected events. Any unexpected events, obviously you don't know them up front, and also the operations, the ongoing things, the shallow work, all the things on top. So this is where we have to get a holistic understanding of the productivity system, of the work that surrounds you, in really to understand how you then can achieve what you set to achieve in this quarterly review and the goal setting that you did there with your team or for yourself. Otherwise, things will be always too ambitious, and you will be always disappointed not achieving the things that you actually set in place.
Yes, and it's also important that for me, these reviews are crucial because they happen every 3 months. And I think that a quarter is a perfect time length to make these approaches, okay? Because I think that it's a way to stop the perfectionist that all of us, all the people who are into the world of productivity, okay, tend to be perfectionist. And I think that these breaks, okay, I could say, allows you to stop betting on the exact same thing that you can keep growing endlessly. Okay, I think that it's a moment to stop, to say, man, it's okay. And now let's pay attention to some other things instead of keeping the loop of improving something until it doesn't deliver value. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're not going to evolve your things, but you need to find out a balance between all the different pillars of a company. And I think that these discussions, these meetings, these reviews allow you to define if things or certain things are good enough, okay? Because if not, during execution mode, as I said before, you're going to pay attention to the missing things instead of the things that you have delivered, because it's impossible, okay, to evaluate the things while you are in the middle of the storm, okay, due to your ambition, all the things that you know that you can deliver, the noise that is all around that doesn't let you breathe. There are many things related to the environment that goes with execution versus a strategy that it's crucial to make these breaks, okay? It's a moment that you can stop thinking about if everything is well balanced, okay? And things tend not to be balanced, okay? By definition, okay? Because when you are focused into a specific way, deliverable, product, service, whatever, you are fully engaged with it and you are giving your best, and that's how you are unbalancing the things, okay? You are improving a lot that thing, but you are not paying attention to some other things. And that's how we force ourselves to break that loop, okay? Make that stop and start analyzing the things. And I think that the conclusions, okay, that you draw at the end of this meeting should be quite strict. You need to have bold statements, okay? You have to create signals so that if you are in execution mode and something sounds like those both things that we said that we didn't do it, is the moment to stay aware of that. And I think that these different works, I think that it has to be with the cognitive science again and how our brains work, okay? And how we can approach things differently. I think that the way that you can discuss things when you are in a strategic mode is totally different than when you're in execution mode. Execution mode tends to fail a lot, okay? Whereas a strategic mode brings simplicity, okay, to how you can do it. You are aware also of the workload, okay? When you are in execution mode and you are constantly, delivering tasks, ending and completing them, not finishing them. When you're in the middle of that battle, you are not able to really be aware of all the things that are happening at the same time, okay? And how things are changing. And also, in our case, in the world of productivity, how things are changing, okay? This My ICOR app was delivered out of the blue. I mean, it wasn't planned. It wasn't part of any strategic plan, okay? That's why it's important always to start doing the things, okay? And talking when you are thinking about an idea of a business and things like that, the first and only step is to start doing that thing because things emerge as you go, okay? It's really difficult to define a perfect strategy that you're going to implement without any excuse and any missing point. And it's by doing the things that things emerge naturally. And also being aware of the things that matter. We are always paying attention to the world of productivity, how things evolve, how new tools emerge, how new trends like this AI code trend emerge, okay? How different is the world of developing right now. We can say I think I sent to Tom today a tweet, okay, coming from GPT that they were launching from 2 years ago, that they were moving from ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 4, okay? Now we are in 5 and beyond, okay? There was nothing related to code by coding 2 years ago. So imagine how things are evolving and how you need to be aware, okay? That's what we need to bring to the community and our people, okay? The things that we consider that really matter to them to make them much more productive, okay? Removing all the noise, okay? All the noise, because until you define something that is worth paying attention, resources, money, it needs a lot of study, deep analysis, and a lot of time, okay? And that's what we can bring to the table, okay? And all those things emerge thanks to these quarterly reviews, believe it or not. And I think that that's why we keep consistent with these quarterly reviews, because they take no time, okay? But they help you a lot to point towards the right direction, okay? To the things that you need to deliver and to pay attention also to the environment. In our case, it's not just the market, it's just our people, okay? We've been analyzing also all the feedback that we are receiving, what our people are demanding, what are their needs. We're trying to look for patterns, okay? And we are putting resources behind that, okay? AI agents, many things, okay? Trying to grab that information that is so crucial. So, because I always say something, when you move to execution mode, obviously you need to be flexible, but we have to have on mind that we need to be fully focused on execution, okay? We cannot start doubting at that thing. The moment that you hesitate, the moment that you have doubts while executing is the moment that you are not executing properly, okay? The quality won't be the right one. Maybe you are not doing things the right way. Well, many things happen, okay? I think that that's also a byproduct or a deliverable of these quarterly meetings, that you are fully focused on the things that matter. And the moment that you are executing, you are not hesitating at all that that's the right thing that you should be doing. And I think that that sensation of security brings a lot of peace of mind, okay, and allows you to perform at the right level. without suffering. Okay, that I think that that's quite important, because I have for many years been working iterating about the things. Okay, and that's not good. Okay, that's why we concluded delivering a system like ICOR that naturally forces you to do the right things based on how we behave as human beings. Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is that, well, that's what people know as sprints, and in agile, where that's just based on giving people or allow people to stay focused for specific time, so they can have a sprint and focus just on one thing. But we just say, by the focus to having what you want to achieve this week, this is enough focus. From a team perspective, you can do several things during the week and leave the organization to the employees themselves or the team members themselves, based on the daily structure that we recommend, like focusing on one deep work tasks per day. And then, you can think about when in the week do you want to achieve this, and things like that, keeping the shallow work in mind. And this gives the right scope of what you can really achieve in this week. Everybody is aware that everybody is trying their best during the week. And then 1 week later, you review how much was achieved. And this is where it's constantly, there's a constant feedback loop during the week. There's no lessons learned in the end of the quarter where you say, well, we failed, and now let's think about what was the reason. But each week you can readjust, realign, and thanks to having a system that tells you in real time the state of the projects, what is going on, the things that you struggled with within a week, it's enough. It's a short enough time that you can perfectly discuss this in an agenda meeting with the team and then fix the things on the go. And I just want to share here what Vincent shared previously when you mentioned My ICOR. So he says in the chat, you listened to your community and exemplified leadership by building a platform that is now recognized as one of the finest interactive learning tools ever created. Thanks so much, Vincent. Proud to share this out there. The thing is, like Paco said, sometimes you just need to do it. But again, you have to set boundaries. When I think about the first version of My ICOR, it was simply digitizing one part of our ICOR methodology where we saw friction for our members. That was the ICOR framework, where people added their tools to this framework. We saw the huge potential, the great feedback, how people get clarity about the tool stack, but it was a static image that people had to use other tools to put then the app logos on this. And then they ask, how can I find the app logos and all these things? And this was the urge to build something like this. And that was essentially it when it came to My ICOR. But then there was already the understanding, but now we have the insight of the tools and how amazing it would be to discuss these tools. And we tried to connect the things together with the other membership platform. And this is where it worked. But then there was momentum coming up in the last quarter, where I shared with Paco then the next iteration of My ICOR. I don't even remember what it was that we initially wanted to bring in beyond the normal ICOR framework. What was it that triggered this thing? I can't remember.
Well, I
Sorry.
think that the trigger was that we have always been aware that we were missing a lot of opportunities to deliver the complexity of productivity in a way that is frictionless, okay? Because here we are talking about a lot of concepts, workflows that no matter that you go through the courses, there are a lot of interaction, because we have to always be aware that we have created something that is sequential, so people can go step by step, but everything is interconnected. And for us, it has been always a struggle to find a platform where we can share all these connections, okay, all these overlapping things. We have tried many of them, and this was something that, well, it was quite complicated for us, and that's why we ended up forcing the things when we saw how My ICOR, just with the ICOR framework, worked so well, and we saw the connections. I think that the pivotal moment was the starter kit, okay, our free starter kit, where we delivered there a way of making the sense of progress, because that was also something that we were missing. We wanted the people to see how they were progressing through the ICOR journey, okay, and see all those things. And thanks to the growth assignment feature, we were able to communicate to each member what was his situation, a specific situation at any moment of the journey, what was left, what were the pain points, and that gives us the clarity of start interconnecting the things. Okay, that's how we deliver many other things, because everything is interconnected. Okay, the tools with the concepts, with the lessons, with the glossary, with the book, well, with all the things that we have delivered.
Yeah, this evolved due to momentum, that's where we started. But the pivotal moment was that I shared a feature with you out of the ICOR Journey starter kit that I added to My ICOR. And then there was the meeting where we've been sitting and saying, what if we bring in the community aspect as well into My ICOR, as we saw more and more things got still disconnected. And I saw Paco being confused, okay, when I'm here, because I started replicating the courses inside My ICOR just for okay. It was the growth assignments, as you just said, Paco. Yeah, the ICOR Journey Starter Kit had the growth assignments, and I brought in the growth assignments for the other lessons in our courses to My ICOR. And therefore, this was the disconnect. And we thought about, okay, in Mighty Networks, the membership platform we've been using so far, in the individual lessons, we could add links and link things together. And then we saw how people need to switch between the different tools, have different sign-ins, and all this confusion, that it became so complex. And yet there was so much potential for our members to improve their learning experience, that it was less friction to kill the whole membership and build a whole thing from scratch. That sounds now insane when you think about it, but that's the key about making MVPs and testing around. Obviously, I was privately also testing a lot of things, so all this experience came together then with this big push in the end of the year. That's not something you do out of the box, out of nowhere, without thinking, but all the individual components that I tested around with during the year came now together. And then in December, momentum hit, where seeing everything coming together and seeing how well everything in ICOR is interconnected, that led then to these glossary implementations and all the other things, and more things where everything became too connected. And also the inner circle experience with the coaching, where people have now the insights, but all the context available and all these things that that led to this thing where we both now say it was not intentional in the beginning, but now looking backwards, it was the last thing that we needed to do in order to deliver the best experience for our people. So yeah, it was out of just giving it a go, and it started all with these growth assignments. And now having the community in My ICOR, that's the big game changer for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is that here we can conclude two things. One is that big things emerge naturally in most of the cases. Okay, it's just a process that makes sense. Okay, by following something that you have dedicated a lot of time to. And also the second conclusion is that, again, systems work. Okay, the moment that you have a solid foundational core, leverage and compound emerge naturally. Okay, we have delivered this tool in just 1 month. Okay, but it was due to a solid foundational core. That's what we always have perceived in our members who follow the ICOR journey. Okay, maybe it takes time to consolidate that solid foundational core, but the moment that this is achieved, people start having a productivity system that is completely life-changing. And that happens within weeks, within months, it depends, okay? But we are not talking about 5 years, okay? Or something that we can consider long-term, okay? We are talking about a life-changing thing that happens within months. That doesn't matter that you keep polishing and improving and making things better month by month, week by week, day by day. But that solid foundational core, it what allows to build something that is really impactful, okay? And that happens at all levels, okay? It happened here with the My ICOR app, but it happens also to the productivity system of our members. Nobody who went through the ICOR journey didn't approach productivity from a totally different perspective and started working naturally, okay? Naturally and with the right tool stack, no matter the restriction that they have. We have people there in the Microsoft environment that tends to be criticized that are working properly using ICOR, and people are working with totally different tool stacks, but following the exact same solid foundational core. And from there, they can start leveraging on their own, okay? Because we tell the people that it's useful to be here in our community because we are constantly sharing new knowledge, new perspective, trends, whatever, okay? But that doesn't matter that you are dependent on the ICOR and the paperless movement products and services, okay? People learn how to grow by themselves, okay? They go to the world of productivity with a totally different approach, not only about tools, but also about processes, workflows, how to create SOPs, how to define the workflows, and then they use the tool that really resonates to them. And I think that that's what we bring to the table, that it's also that freedom, okay, of having that sense of control for yourself, not because you are dependent on third parties, okay, and also having the freedom of choose the tools that you really like and you feel comfortable with, or the ones that your business or corporation allows you to use. And I think that that's one of the main things of betting on a systems approach, no matter, okay, the topic that you are dealing with.
And I see a chat message from Mary that I just want to share here too. I was thinking about quarterly goals this morning in preparation for the weekly executive meeting in my day job. The company has avoided setting any goals except for goals that are highly dependent on external parties and events. For example, the FDA approval. Well, I had FDA audits, and that's what you can call an unexpected event. So, and then she keeps writing, those kinds of goals are so long-term and externally focused. If I've seen that they are rarely helpful. They are guardrails, but often not actionable in a realistic way for the team. I'm trying to move us toward focusing on the quarterly goals that are focused on our internal efforts that we have control of, and break those down into concrete projects and tasks that we can discuss and act upon in our weekly executive meeting. You perfectly describe it here. So, and then she says, looking forward to diving in on this more in the inner circle. Yeah, Mary, we will certainly do this in our coaching call. But quickly, let's address this here. That's where, getting back to the beginning of this session, where I mentioned the corporate thing too. That's out of your control. If you are in a position there where you're not setting the global company goals or the overall company goals and things like that. But you can still break it down into your own tangible goals. Or if, like in your case, they are missing completely, try to introduce these goals. Try to define it for yourself. That's what I would always do. Try to lay out a plan, a diagram, or anything like that, or one slider on PowerPoint to lay out your understanding of what are the goals this year, what you think or what you understood so far that the team or the company wants to achieve. And then talk to people and ask, is this the same way that you see it? Am I seeing it right? And that automatically shows them a mirror that they realize then, oh, we don't actually never thought about these things. We don't have any goals in place yet, right? So you did the starting, the kickstart, the work up front, you put in already the thoughts, and that makes it easy then for the executive team to pick this up and extend it and give the definition, or they just simply point you into the right direction or give you a decision then on what to focus on, and therefore you hand out the control again, but you have a proper feedback, right? Instead of everybody walking around and guessing, you at least made the word to say, okay, that's what I understood, or that's what I think we should do. And therefore you get a confirmation from the executive team, also showing that you put in the thought for the company too. And that's what I learned helps greatly to get everybody on the same table. All right, everybody, let's start this year. All right, Mary says, oh, great advice, very doable, and they are getting used to me asking uncomfortable questions now, so this will probably work. Yeah, it will for sure, and we will dive a lot deeper into in our inner circle session for sure. And you guys out there, we will catch you up next week then. Join the My ICOR if you're not there yet to join us live in the chat too. See ya. Bye-bye.
You guys, thank you so much.